All right, welcome back. Today we are jumping right into one of the biggest rivalries in tech. In this corner, we've got the heavyweight camera champion, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And in the other, the challenger that's absolutely packed with hardware, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. So Xiaomi really comes out swinging with these incredible specs, right? We're talking a continuous zoom lens, a battery that's a whopping 40% larger. But you and I both know, specs on a piece of paper, they don't tell the whole story. The real question is, when you put these two phones through a real, grueling, day-long test, who actually comes out on top? So let's meet our contenders. On one side, you have the Xiaomi 17 Ultra, and it is a beast. It's got that huge 1-inch main sensor for sucking in more light, and that really innovative continuous zoom. Then on the other side, you've got the reigning champ, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. It's banking on its secret sauce, that proven color science, its rock-solid video stabilization, and of course, that seamless ecosystem. Okay, let's get right into it. First up, round one, the daylight camera duel. This is the most common scenario for any camera, so let's see how they do. And right out of the gate, you can see this huge difference in how they see the world. When you're shooting video, the Xiaomi's colors can look a little flat, maybe a bit washed out. Meanwhile, the iPhone just cranks up the saturation for a much more vivid, punchy look. This one difference kind of sets the stage for everything else. And this is a perfect illustration of that spec-to-street difference. You see, that giant 1-inch sensor in the Xiaomi, it's not just a number on a page. It physically pulls in way more light, and that creates this beautiful, natural background blur, that professional bokeh look that photographers are always chasing. The iPhone, on the other hand, it relies more on its software magic to create that punchy, ready-for-Instagram shot. But sometimes it can go a little too far and make things look artificially over-sharpened. Now, when it comes to taking pictures of people, this is where it gets tricky for both phones. Neither one is perfect. For people with fair skin, the Xiaomi has a tendency to wash them out, making them look almost too white or pinkish. The iPhone kind of goes in the complete opposite direction, pushing skin tones into this really warm, almost orange-yellow look that doesn't always feel natural. All right, on to round two, the tricky telephoto test. Now, this is where, based on the spec sheet, the Xiaomi should have a massive, massive advantage. And you know what? Those on-paper promises, they absolutely deliver in the real world. The Xiaomi Zoom is just more flexible, the pictures look more natural, and yeah, that bigger sensor gives you a much richer background blur. But honestly, the most important point here, it is just so much faster and easier to get a sharp photo in the first place. And check this out. This is a perfect example of that real-world frustration. The reviewer was trying to get a simple close-up of some berries, and for more than a minute, the iPhone's 100mm lens just hunted back and forth, totally unable to lock on. And why? Well, its minimum focusing distance is about a meter away, which makes it pretty much useless for that kind of creative, close-up shot that the Xiaomi absolutely nailed in an instant. So the verdict for this round is, well, it's not even close. For creative control, for portraits, for just sheer usability, Xiaomi takes the win here, decisively. All right, now for the ultimate test. What happens when the sun goes down? Because honestly, low light performance is what separates the great cameras from the just good ones. Let's see how they handle the challenge. When it comes to just taking photos in the dark, that 1-inch sensor on the Xiaomi becomes an absolute superstar. The difference is, and I mean this literally, night and day. It just pulls in so much more light, and the result is photos with better colors, way more fine detail, and a lot less of that ugly, grainy noise. The iPhone's shots, side by side, just look kind of muddy and soft. But hold on, just when you think Xiaomi has this round in the bag, we switch over to video. And wow, the tables completely turn. This is where the iPhone software magic just takes over. Its stabilization is incredible, giving you smooth, usable footage. The Xiaomi, on the other hand, really struggles. You get choppy frame rates, jittery stabilization, it's just not great. So even with some annoying green lens flare, the iPhone is the clear winner for shooting video at night. So we've talked cameras a lot, but look, a great camera is totally useless if your phone is dead by 5 p.m. So for our final round, we're looking at pure endurance, which phone can actually survive a full day of shooting and everything else. Now, this should be a total slam dunk for Xiaomi. I mean, its battery is just monstrous compared to the iPhone's. A 40% advantage is huge. You'd think it would last way, way longer. But does it? So let's just follow the data from the test day. Both phones start at a full 100%. After some video streaming in the morning, the iPhone is already ahead, 92% to the Xiaomi's 86%. That's weird. Then, after a full day of navigating and heavy camera use, they're practically tied. But then, after 5 total hours with the screen on, the iPhone is actually still in the lead. And this is the final kind of shocking result. At the end of it all, the iPhone still had 54% of its battery left. The Xiaomi, with its much bigger battery, it was down to 48%. So despite that massive on-paper advantage, the iPhone's incredible software and hardware optimization actually won the day. So let's break it all down with the final scorecard. The iPhone takes the win for those vibrant daylight photos, for all-around video recording, and crucially for all-day battery life. But the Xiaomi is the undisputed champ for anyone who loves that creative telephoto zoom and for serious low-light still photography. As you can see, it's a very mixed result. And that really brings us to the most important conclusion. This isn't a simple case of one phone just being better than the other. It's really all about trade-offs. It's about what you, the person actually using the phone, value most. So you really have to ask yourself, are you looking for the ultimate creative, powerful photographic tool that's incredible in specific areas like zoom and night photos, even if it has some other compromises? Or do you just need the most reliable, consistent, all-day companion that gives you great results without a lot of fuss? The best camera is always the one that fits your life, and that's the choice you have to make.